Hello and welcome to your ASMR matchmaking service. Have you ever used a matchmaking service before? No? Okay. Well, I will talk you through the process very quickly. So I expect that you have already filled out our online form, which will have captured your basic details, your name, your date of birth, your address, those kinds of things. Is that right? Lovely. Well, if you could just give me a name, I will look you up on the system here. And spell your surname for me. Perfect. Okay, let's have a look. There you are. Okay, so that's it. We have name, date of birth, address, where you were born, all those bits and pieces. Perfect. Okay, so today is really about me as your matchmaker learning a little bit more about you so that I can help to set you up with your perfect match. So I want to find out a little bit more about your personality, about the things that are important to you in life, and also about what it is that you are looking for in a relationship. So some of the questions are going to seem quite personal, and of course you don't have to answer anything that you're not comfortable with, but the more open and the more honest that you can be with me, the better I will understand who you are and what you're looking for, and the more I will be able to match you very closely with somebody who I think will be just the right fit for you. Does that sound okay? Good. Alright. So, I'm going to start then just with a quick personality type questionnaire. So we are going to begin right away with getting a feel for your personality type. And of course they often say that opposites attract, but I believe there are certain ways in which similar personality traits can also be really beneficial for a healthy relationship. So a few quick fire questions. Try not to overthink these too much. Choose the one that kind of springs to mind. It'll be an either or. So are you this or are you that? If you feel like you are somewhere in the middle, then that's fine to just say in the middle. Okay? Good, here we go. Okay, so are you an introvert or are you an extrovert? Okay, quite strongly do you feel? Okay, alright. Are you a dreamer or are you a realist? Okay. Now, when it comes to decision making, are you logical or are you emotional? Okay. Are you hot-headed or are you calm? Okay. I think we can all have those moments, can't we? That's it. Alright. Would you say you are generally high energy or are you more laid back? Okay. confrontational person, or are you more avoidant if there is an issue? Okay. All right. And do you feel that you have a nervous disposition, or are you generally quite confident? Okay. Are you a risk taker in life, or do you err on the side of caution? Okay. Of course. Okay. And are you quite an outspoken person, or are you a reserved person? I thought you might say that. Okay. All right. Now, are you a stubborn person, or are you more of a compromising kind of person? I know it can be a little bit difficult to answer that entirely honestly. We can all have elements of both at times. And of course it doesn't mean that you aren't compatible with somebody. It's just about finding the right person for you. That's it, someone who complements your strengths and your weaknesses. Exactly. Okay. So on that note, are you quite an impatient person in life, or are you generally very patient? So would you say that you can be quite impulsive? Noted, okay. And are you an improviser or an organizer? Okay. Do you see yourself as more of a leader or more of a team player? Okay. And do you consider yourself to be an open-minded person, or do you think you're a little more set in your ways? Okay, of course. Alright. Lovely. So that gives us an overall idea of your personality type. But we're going to move on now to thinking about your history, your life. What's brought you to where you are today? So on that note, tell me a little bit about your upbringing and your childhood. What was that like? Okay. Yeah. I see. When was that, in your teens or younger? Okay. Interesting, alright. Okay. Thank you for that. Alright. Tell me a little bit then about your parents or your primary caregivers. Who were you raised by? Was it your parents? Are they still together? Are they divorced? Okay. Mm-hmm. And how old were you? Okay. Alright. Do you have any siblings? Okay. Alright. It's a little bit of a difficult question, so take a moment to think about it if you need to. But if you could change one thing about your upbringing, what would it be? It's a tough question, isn't it? Of course. Okay. Good answer. Right. Tell me then about your academic life. How did you get on in school? Did you enjoy school? Okay. Do you consider yourself to be an academic person? Okay. How old were you when you left school? Did you complete? Okay. And what's your highest level of education? Do you have a degree, for example, postgraduate degree? Okay. Have you kept in touch with anyone from school at all? They're difficult years, aren't they? Yeah. Okay. So tell me a little bit about your social circle now. So do you have a lot of friends? Do you have an active social life? Do you tend to keep to yourself? Nice. Okay. And are they acquaintances or quite close friends? Would you say that you have a best friend? Okay, tell me a little bit about them. Lovely. Okay. And do you find it easy or quite difficult to make new friends? Okay. And do you find it easy or quite difficult to get close to people? Okay, of course. Alright. Tell me what your typical day looks like at the moment. So an average Monday for you, what's it like? Alright. So what time are you waking up, sorry? Yeah? And how long would that be for? Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. then what about in the evening? What would you typically do with your evenings? I see. Yeah. And how long have you been a member there? Very good, okay. So that's quite important to you then. Interesting, okay. Alright. Could you tell me when you were last in a relationship, serious or casual? Okay. And how did that relationship end, if you don't mind me asking? So a bit on and off, would you say? And are you still in contact with that person? Okay. Do you still hold any residual feelings for that person, or are you over them entirely? Okay. So if that person appeared back in your life tomorrow and wanted to resume things, okay. This could of course be the same person, but what would you say is the longest relationship you've been in, and why did that relationship end? Okay. I see. So do you feel like you had closure properly? I see, okay. Let's move on then to talking about your career and your finances. I know this can be a very difficult topic for people to be open about, but it's also something that can often cause a great deal of conflict within relationships. So I personally think it's very important that we try to match you up with someone who has a similar outlook to you in terms of those things. Does that sound okay? Good. You don't have to answer anything you don't want to, so just let me know. But again, the more open you can be, the better our results will be. Alright. Good. So could you tell me please what it is that Could you tell me please what it is that you do for a living? Okay. And how much money do you earn doing that? And is that your only source of income? Do you own any property or have any investments? Okay. And do you know your net worth? Okay. Approximately. Right. And where do you see yourself in 5 years' time in terms of your career? I see, okay. course. And at what age do you plan to retire? Well, that's exactly it. You know, some people plan to have quite a long retirement, as long as possible. For others, their work is very important to them and they want to work for as long as they can. Exactly. Okay. Do you have a pension? Okay. Do you have any savings? Okay, yeah. Okay, and do you have any debts, mortgages, credit cards or otherwise? Okay. Do you know the total? And are you in any financial difficulty paying off those debts? Okay. And do you live to work or do you work to live? I see. Okay. So it's been a bit of a change for you. And are you happy with how that is now? I see. Okay. So something that you feel might change in time? Okay. In terms of your attitude towards money then, do you prefer spending money or do you get more of a kick out of saving money? Right. Do you believe that your potential partner should have similar views to you in that regard? Bit of a balance. Okay. Alright. Would you say that you believe in complete financial transparency in a relationship? Should your partner know all about your finances? And should you know all about theirs? Interesting, okay. Independence a bit. Of course. Okay. Just making a little note of those. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on it. It's very interesting to hear people's opinions. They do vary wildly, especially when it comes to money. Okay, so on that note then, does your partner's financial status matter to you? So are you looking for us to match you with somebody who has a similar financial status, a similar outlook in terms of finances? Okay. thank you. Is there anything else that you would like to add in terms of your position on finances and careers? That's it. Anything that you think could be pertinent? Okay. Right then, we will move on then to health. So, in the first instance, I would just like to know, are you a smoker? Okay. And do you drink alcohol, and how many units per week, if so? Okay. Is it a problem for you if a potential partner smokes or drinks alcohol? Okay. Do you use any recreational substances? Okay. And is it an issue for you if a potential partner uses any recreational substances? Okay. Do you have any medical issues that you would say affect your day-to-day life or your quality of life? Okay. Do you or have you ever suffered with mental health issues? Okay. Do you have any life-threatening allergies? Okay. How important would you say that fitness and physical health is to you? Okay. Is this an important attribute for you in a potential partner? Okay. Of course. And in terms of your diet, how would you say your diet is? Is it quite healthy, quite varied? Are you plant-based? Okay. And is your partner's dietary preferences of relevance to you? Okay. Good, okay. Lovely. We will move on then to looking at your interests and hobbies. So, do you play any sports? Watch. Okay. And what about extreme sports, so skydiving, things like that? Okay, very good. Do you play any musical instruments, or are there any that you would like to learn? That's it. Okay. So we have a few would you rather questions. So either or, this or that. Would you rather read a book or watch a movie? Okay. And do you prefer walks in nature or nights out dancing? Alright. Would you rather go bowling or would you rather go to the Would you consider yourself to be a morning person or a night owl? Interesting, okay. Would you rather spend 3 hours gaming or 3 hours shopping? Do you prefer cooking at home or eating out? What's your favourite cuisine? Okay. Would you rather go to the gym or get a takeaway? Okay. What activities and interests would you like to share with a partner? Okay. Very good, okay. Most unusual. Right. Very good, thank you for those. Let's talk a little bit then about your worldview in general, your thoughts on life. So, do you have a strong political interest? Okay, so when is the last time that you voted? Okay. Are you religious? Do you hold any religious beliefs? Okay. Is spirituality important to you? Okay. And what is more important to you? Success or happiness? Okay. Would you rather have loads of friends or loads of money? Okay. Would you rather be famous without talent, or would you rather have a talent without any fame or recognition for it? Okay. Would you rather be the best player on the losing team, or would you rather be the worst player on the winning team? Okay. Right. Tell me how you feel about social media. Okay. Definitely has its ups and downs, doesn't it? I agree. Which social media accounts do you have? Okay. Yep. Not so active on that. Okay. What is your biggest fear in life? Of course, okay. Okay. What languages do you speak? What countries have you visited? Okay, very good. And what is the next country that you would like to visit if money was no object? Okay. How often do you like to go on holiday? Okay. Are there any worldviews or values that are strongly important to you that you feel you need to have alignment with a potential partner on that issue? Okay. Of course. Absolutely. Of course, we don't have to compromise on anything we don't want. Alright. I'm going to move on then and suggest that we really get down to the nitty-gritty of what you're here for. So I'm going to ask you some questions now about your views on relationships in general, what you are looking for from a relationship, and then we are going to identify your love language, and finally we will identify your attachment style as well. So some interesting psychology there, which just really helps us to set up perfect matches between two individuals. Okay? That's it. Alright, let's go. Firstly then, are you looking for a monogamous relationship or an open relationship? Okay. And are you looking for a long-term relationship or something more casual? Right. What is the most important aspect of a relationship to you? So is it loyalty, companionship, support, intimacy emotionally, etc.? Okay. Nice, okay. Have you ever cheated on a partner before? Of course, we don't have to disclose any answers to your potential partners. We will use the quiz today to kind of prepare a profile for you, but your answers do remain entirely private. It's only myself that will see them and not potential partners. Okay. Have you ever been cheated on? Right. Do you see flirting as harmless fun or as disrespectful when you are in a relationship? Context, okay. Yeah. The intentions. Okay. What would you say is more important to you in a relationship? Emotional or physical intimacy? Okay. And how do you feel about marriage? Okay. That question can often prompt an entire essay in itself, yes. people feel very, very strongly about it. Okay. Do you have any past relationships or experiences that have deeply affected you? Sorry to hear that, okay. You don't have to go into too much detail, of course. Of course. Well, that's what we're here for, really, to get to know our clients as best as possible and to match you up with someone who is far more compatible with you in those kinds of ways. Exactly, it just starts you up on the best foot. All relationships take work and commitment, but I think if you begin on the basis that two people have very similar core values, that's it, yes. Exactly, okay. Thank you for sharing that with me. I know it must have been difficult. Okay, so do you get jealous or needy in a relationship? Okay. And how would you handle it if your partner was jealous or needy? Okay. What would you say is more important to you? Personality or appearance and physical attractiveness? Okay. And in terms of appearance, do you have a type? I see, okay. That's absolutely fine, of course. Right. Would you rather your partner had a great sense of humour, or would you rather that they had a great deal of empathy? Okay. And would you rather that your partner was ambitious and hardworking, or would you rather that they were carefree and fun-loving? Okay. Do you think it's okay to keep secrets in a relationship? Okay, of course. Open, yeah. And if you're willing to share with me, what is the biggest lie that you've ever told a previous partner? Okay. Of course. What do you believe is the best way to resolve a conflict in a relationship? That's it. So do you require a little bit of time and space to think things through yourself? Do you like to talk it over? Do you prefer to avoid it entirely? Okay, communication, of course. Okay, so what would you say is more important? Making yourself heard, being understood, or keeping the peace? Of course. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your privacy boundaries within a relationship. So, for example, should your partner have full access to your mobile phone, to your social media accounts? Should they have none at all? Hmm? Okay. Do you keep photos or videos of your ex-partners? Okay. Are you friends with any of your ex-partners? Okay. Would you be happy for your partner to be friends with their ex-partners? Okay. Do you believe in the notion of soulmates? Okay. Okay. How do you feel about the practice of ghosting? Have you heard of that? So it's when a person suddenly cuts all communication with a person that they've been seeing, so you just completely disappear and no contact whatsoever. Have you ever ghosted anybody? Okay. And have you ever ended a relationship via text message or email or a phone call rather than in person? Okay. Do you think that age gaps matter? And in your own personal relationship? Okay. Right. Is romance important to you? Okay. Right. Which are the personality traits that are most attractive to you in others? Very popular one, that one, yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay. Any others? Right. And what about the personality traits that are the least attractive to you? Okay. Do you have or want to have children? Okay. And if you have any, what are your deal breakers or red flags in another person? Of course, yes. No, that makes sense with everything else that you told me. That's fine. Everybody is different and has different boundaries, so it's important that we understand yours. That's it. Okay, good, well done. You have done really, really well so far. So we are going to just finish now by working out your love language and also your attachment style. So have you heard of love languages before? Okay, so love languages are the ways in which you like to show your love for someone else, and also the ways in which you like to be shown that someone has love and care for you. So they are quite important in terms of relationships because it can affect how you feel about the relationship and also how you feel your partner feels about the relationship and each other. It is of course possible to have two people with entirely different love languages to be very, very happy, but we like to encourage our clients to be aware of their love language, because if you know your own needs and you understand the needs of others, then you're more likely to be able to create a successful union on that basis. That's it, of course. So I'm going to give you a little bit of information about each, and I would just like you to tell me which one or which ones you identify with the most. Right? Good, okay. The first one then is words of affirmation. So this is when you express your affection through words of love or praise or encouragement. So you might send little text messages throughout the day telling your partner how you feel about them, or you might love to receive compliments from them. If this is something you can relate to, then it's very likely that words of affirmation are quite important to you. Okay, so the next love language is quality time. So this is about wanting to spend time with your partner where they are actively present in your company. So things like not having your phone or other distractions, and making sure that you are actively listening to each other and engaging with each other. It's a focus on quality over quantity, and it's really about being present together in the moment. Okay, the next one is physical touch. So if this is your love language, you will want to feel physically close to your partner. Things like hand holding, cuddling, massages, any other kind of forms of physical intimacy will be really important to you in expressing your love for somebody, and also feeling as though a person is loving you and caring about you. That will be relevant for you. Okay, so the next one is acts of service. So these are the nice things that you do for your partner, or that your partner does for you, that make you both feel loved and appreciated. So it could be running errands, it could be cleaning the house, just little things that you do that that shows your partner that you're thinking about them and that you are there for them. If you are someone who has this love language, you might find that it's something that you do for people in general. You like to feel as though you are helping in a meaningful way. Okay? Good, okay. So the final one is receiving gifts. So if your love language is this one, you will find that it's not just about the gift itself, but the thought that goes into the gift that really matters and is of value to you. So it might be something like buying your partner a ticket for their favourite band that they haven't been able to see yet, or something that they've been wanting for a long time but haven't been able to get for some reason, or something that perhaps is sentimental and holds a value to the two of you. That kind of gift giving can also be a love language. It can make a person feel loved and appreciated, and it can make the person giving the gift feel as though they are showing and expressing their love. So out of those so far, which would you say that you identify with the strongest? Which is most important to you? Okay, let's try some examples then. So, say for example your partner has had a really hard day at work. How are you going to show them that you care about them? So are you going to cook them their favourite meal? Are you going to give them a back rub? Are you going to tell them how much you love them, how proud you are of them, and perhaps reassure them that things will get better? Are you going to surprise them with tickets to see their favourite band? Or are you going to drop everything and spend the evening just you and them, maybe going for a walk or out for a nice meal where you can really give them your undivided attention? Okay. Okay. And which would be your preference if it were the other way around? What would you like your partner to do for you? Exactly that. So that's why it's important to understand love languages, because your partner in that moment might express their love for you in a different way to how you would like to receive it. Exactly, and vice versa. Okay, one more example then. What kind of surprise would make you feel most loved by your partner? So would it be that they buy you a special gift that you've wanted for a while? Or perhaps you come home and find that they've cleaned the entire house through so that you don't have to? Or would it be that they book the day off of work so that they can spend the entire day with you? Or would it be, as you go about your day, you find that they have scattered little love notes around the house for you to find? Or would it be that they set up a kind of at-home spa and pamper you with massages and affection? Which would you prefer? Okay. That's it. So we can, of course, identify with a mix of love languages. You might have one that is your strongest, the one you relate to the most, but there may also be others that creep in from time to time, and some that you just never really find resonate with you. Very interesting, thank you. Okay, let's have a quick look now then at your attachment style. So there are 4 something that develops through our earliest relationships with our primary caregivers, so it's quite an unconscious thing that happens as we grow and develop. It is also something that can change, but some of the attachment styles can clash within relationships. They can make for very difficult relationships, and others tend to complement one another a bit better. If you are aware of your attachment style again, it can just, and your partner's attachment style, it can just help you to really understand perhaps why you are feeling what you are feeling and why you are behaving as you are, and similarly why your partner is feeling and behaving how they are. Okay? Good, okay. So the first type of attachment is what's known as a secure attachment. So if you're able to form secure attachments, this means that you can form healthy relationships with other people. So you are going to have generally quite a high self-esteem if you have this kind of attachment style, and you will find that you are a person who is comfortable being alone, but also comfortable in a close relationship with somebody. So you're going to be someone who is emotionally available, and also you will find it easy or not too difficult to seek emotional support from others when you need it. You're not really going to feel the need to hide yourself away and be kind of walls up, inaccessible. That's it, okay. You're also probably going to find it easy to trust others. That's quite important. You're going to communicate quite well your thoughts and your emotions, and similarly you will probably manage conflicts quite well as well. In a relationship, someone with a secure attachment style is probably going to be very positive and also very loving as well. So you will feel, if you have this attachment style, that you are worthy of love. You trust the love that you receive from your partner, and you don't feel the need for reassurances from them about how they feel about you. Okay, so that's the first type. The next type then is what's known as anxious or preoccupied attachment style. So you are going to relate to this one more strongly if you have a fear of rejection or abandonment. So that underlying fear can then impact how you behave in your relationships. So you might find that you can be quite clingy, for example, or that you are quite highly sensitive to criticism. So whether that is a real criticism or something that you perceive to be a criticism, it can feel quite threatening to your sense of self within a relationship. You can also find that a person with this attachment style needs a lot of reassurance and a lot of approval from their partners. They may also have jealous tendencies, and that jealousy again comes from fear of rejection. They might have a low self-esteem and also feel that they are unworthy of love from their partners, and that results also in a difficulty in trusting others and trusting their partner's feelings for them. So that would be a more kind of anxious or preoccupied attachment style. And again, you may find that you have parts of some of these that you relate to, but not all. So bits of some and bits of others. attachment style. So a person with this kind of attachment style is going to feel strongly independent, or like they don't really need others. They're going to avoid any kind of emotional and some kind of sometimes physical closeness as well. So they would feel uncomfortable expressing their feelings to somebody. Might be known as somebody who has commitment issues, and they would also have a hard time trusting people and letting people get close to them. They would probably prefer short-term or casual relationships because, again, they are trying to avoid that feeling of letting someone in and getting close. And they will also probably often feel as though a relationship is moving too fast. So you can imagine that a person who has an anxious attachment style, who can be quite clingy and needs reassurance, is going to struggle to get that from someone who has an avoidant attachment style, because they will not be fulfilling or even understanding each other's needs. And of course, if you're aware of those things, you can have that open communication with your potential partner. It doesn't mean that it can't work, it's just it's going to be more difficult to fulfill one another's needs. That's it. Okay, very good. So the final type of attachment style then is fearful or disorganised. And this one is actually characterised by somebody who flip-flops between the two, so they can have quite unpredictable behaviour. They may seem sometimes like someone who has an anxious attachment style, and then they may sometimes seem like someone who has an avoidant attachment style. So they are going to have contradictory behaviours but quite a high level of anxiety. They might be sometimes aloof and independent, and then other times they might be quite clingy and emotional. So it can be very difficult to predict the needs of that person and make it very difficult to be in a relationship with them. And if you are someone who has that attachment style, understanding where that comes from within yourself can really help you to acknowledge and address those behaviours. That's it. Okay, so having heard everything that you've said today, having looked at your love language, what would you say your attachment style is out of those? I would tend to agree. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. Lovely. Alright. Well, this has been a wonderful session getting to know you today. It's been really, really helpful. I am going to collate all of that information now and have a look through our database to see who I think would be a great match for you. I already have a couple of people in mind actually who I think would really, really suit you. So I will be in touch very soon. We can see if we can organise dinner or something like that. And then again I will follow up to see how things are going. Okay? Lovely. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing, and I will see you again very soon.